From London, we present The Day of the Triffids, John Wyndham's famous science fiction story, dramatized by Giles Cooper. The Day of the Triffids, Episode 1, The End Begins.
Hello, Elspeth.
Oh, good, Bill. I've caught you.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks, Gisela.
We were just knocking off.
Oh, no.
What?
I've got this thing working and you're going to use it.
What is it?
Tape recorder.
Oh.
Yes, we've got it geared to the voltage of the generator at long last, and you are both going to talk to it.
Both of us?
Saying what?
Everything. It's for the history.
History? Well, why us?
Because you were in on it before it even happened. Well, from one angle, at any rate.
Well, couldn't I just write down my part?
No.
Why not?
Well, the girl who'll transcribe it is blind, as you very well know. So come on, then.
Surely there's no reason to start tonight.
Bill, I've got to take advantage of every minute the generator is on. Right, off you go.
After you.
Oh, hell, I don't know. It's damn difficult to think back so far. The things we've been talking about would mean nothing to someone living then.
You have a heart. We were living then.
Well, you can't have been more than about 3. I must have been 9. Well, I know that a man called Umberto Palanguez was shown into the office of the managing director of the Arctic and European Fish Oil Company. It wasn't the first time he'd been there.
Ah, Mr. Palanguez. Do sit down.
Thank you, senor.
I'm afraid I was in conference last time you came.
Yes.
We analysed that sample of oil which you left for us.
Yes.
Very interesting.
I imagined that you might think so.
Vegetable oil, of course.
But with a far higher vitamin content than any of your fish oils.
Oh, yes, I agree. As a matter of fact, to be candid, we've never seen anything quite like it.
You will. It will be on the market in quantity in about 8 years from now.
Oh, yes?
Not if you can help it. Is that what you are thinking?
I wouldn't put it quite as crudely as that.
No, but I am a crude fellow, so I will say it for you.
Oh.
Also, I will tell you that you haven't got a hope of stopping it. The experimental station where this sample was produced is a long way off, both in geography and ideology.
Oh. What is your nationality, Mr. Palanguez?
South American and quite irrelevant. I am a citizen of the world and not without friends.
I heard they were trying to fortify sunflower seed oil, but it isn't that.
No, not sunflowers.
Some kind of nut?
No, I understand it is an entirely new species. Here is a picture of it.
Good God.
Yes.
What an incredible thing. It is a plant.
Certainly.
It looks like a cross between a giraffe and a cairn terrier covered in leaves.
It is a cross between a great many things, some of them not nice. But in a few years' time, it will be producing a far better oil than yours, at half your present price.
What are you offering? And how much do you want for it?
I'm offering a tray of fertilized seed 6 months from now. And I want 100,000 pounds.
Do you? Do you?
If you consider all the implications, you will find that I am being very reasonable.
I shall have to consult my fellow directors.
Oh, naturally. I would like an advance of 25,000 pounds.
That's rather high.
Not really. You see, I shall have to hire myself a jet aircraft, and it had better be a good one.
But it wasn't good enough. He landed by night on a flat Siberian waste. A man ran up to the plane with a box under his arm and got in. He took off at once and climbed steeply. But somewhere over the Pacific, they caught up with him and blew the plane to pieces. After the fragments had dropped away, there was nothing left but a trail of white vapor. Only it wasn't vapor. It was a cloud of seeds. They were so gossamer light they even floated on that thin air until they drifted down into the winds of the world.
How much of that is speculation?
Not much. Besides, there's no other way to account for the fact that they suddenly appeared in half a dozen different parts of the world at once. We even had one in our back garden. I was 15 at the time.
Dad? Do you know there's a mystery behind the compost heap?
Go on, Billy. Pull the other one.
No, really. It's a peculiar plant.
Peculiar?
Do come and look. Between the berberis and the fence. There.
My word, yes, you're right. It's very odd indeed.
I can't find it in any of the books. Not flowers of the field or anything.
Yeah, looks a bit foreign.
There's a sort of thing like a fern shoot in that trumpet-shaped thing at the top of the stem. Look. And a lot of dead flies floating about inside.
Well, it's no beauty, whatever it is. We'll dig it up next time we have a bonfire.
Oh, no, Dad. Please not.
Well, what do you want to do with it?
Study it.
Oh, no.
You know, take its measurements and keep a record of its growth.
All right, then, but I wish you'd spend as much time on arithmetic as you do on nature study.
It's not nature study, it's biology.
Whatever you call it, it won't get you anywhere. Now, with mathematics, you can always be sure of a good job.
August the 9th. It is now 170 centimetres high, and the bowl is 150 centimetres in diameter. September the 12th. It has grown a further 12 centimetres. The coil part in the centre of the calyx looks almost like a spring. I found a dead bird lying on the ground beside it today. October the 9th. I have applied for a job I saw in the paper. It is to be a trainee with the Arctic and European Oil Company Limited. I think it is whales and palm oil and ground nuts. It might be interesting. I don't expect I shall get it.
Oh, come in. Do sit down, Mr...
Mason. William Mason, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Well, my name's Luckner. I'm in charge of research. Well, tell me something about yourself.
What sort of thing, sir?
Well, what you like doing, why you want to join Arctic European. Just talk to me.
Well, sir, I'm interested in plants and animals. Things that live.
Yes.
I don't like figures much or sitting at a desk.
What experience have you?
Biology at school. It was my best subject. And I've done some research of my own.
On what?
Well, there's a plant in our garden that nobody knows about, and I've kept a sort of record of it.
What does it look like?
It has a circular bowl covered with leaves which at present is 210.5 centimetres in circumference. From it springs a stem which is 82 centimetres in circumference and 120 centimetres in height from the bowl, the whole plant standing 210 centimetres from the ground.
Well, that's very thorough. Now tell me what it looks like.
Well, like a kind of shaggy, leafy giraffe with no legs. And a leafy calyx where the head would be.
What?
I'm sorry, it's not a very good description.
Yes, it is. Has it got 4 small twigs growing straight up from the base of the stem?
Yes?
And inside the calyx a coiled thing, which might be a stamen?
Yes, that's it.
Indeed it is. Give him the chairman. How long has it been there?
Well, 6 months since I noticed it, but it was well established then.
Yeah. Walter Luckner, sir. I have a young man sitting in front of me who's been growing a triffid in his back garden. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, of course. Right. Well, we're going up to see him.
A triffid? Is that what it's called?
Yes. In 2 years' time, it'll be the reason for this company's existence.
But what does it do?
Produces an oil that, well, wipes the floor with any of our present products. It's the hybrid of a half a dozen hybrids. Some were accidentally dispersed a year or two ago, and we've had reports that specimens have been found in the tropics.
Tropics?
Yes, I'm going out to Ecuador next week to bring some home. Yours is the first reported in a temperate country.
Why triffid?
Yours hasn't walked yet, I take it?
Walked?
No, obviously not. But when it's between 18 months and 2 years old, it will lift its 3 main roots from the ground and walk on them. It's Triffid.
But no plants walk.
Well, they do now. Oh, and by the way, you've got the job.
But I very nearly lost it. I went home hopping with excitement. The first thing I did was to go into the garden and take a look at the Triffid. I bent down and examined the roots. For the first time, I noticed that there were indeed 3 of them. I began to scrape the earth away, with a vague idea that the thing might walk sooner. Then something cracked across my face like a whip. I woke up in bed, and a puzzled-looking doctor was standing over me. I was the first person in England to be stung by a Triffid. I survived because it wasn't fully grown. By the time I'd recovered, Walter Luckner was back from Ecuador with a dozen mature specimens, and he'd already discovered that the sting which whipped out of the top of the stem would kill a man instantly. He'd also discovered that if you cut the sting off the Triffid, it was harmless. I went down to Worthing with him and we set up the first Triffid nursery together. In the next few years, the things were so successful as oil producers that we reared more and more of them, until, well...
Yes. But can't you give me something personal? Well, I mean, Bill, you worked with them more than anyone.
Except Walter. He really understood Triffids.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, one evening I remember sitting on a bank looking at a field of tethered Triffids, just about sunset. What a row they're making.
Yes, they're talkative tonight.
I wonder if it's the weather. They seem to do it more when it's dry.
Do you talk more when it's dry?
Talk?
Yes, do you?
You don't really think that's what they're doing?
Why not?
Well, it's absurd, plants talking to each other.
You once said they couldn't walk.
Oh, yes, but that's a mechanical thing. I mean, if they talked, it would mean they had some intelligence.
Have you ever noticed, when they sting, they seem to go for the face or the hands?
Yes.
Especially for the eyes.
Well, it's probably accidental.
Possibly. But it could be because they want to reduce our advantage. Sight is our only advantage, you know.
Whatever there's vegetables.
Yes. You just think, if you were blind and alone in a field with a Triffid, what could you do? Well, for a start, you'd starve to death. The Triffid wouldn't. It could exist on flies till it found you. And then it would only have to root itself beside your body and wait.
A nice thought.
Yeah, and here's another one. In some parts of Africa, they've been known to surround villages at night and kill the inhabitants.
Yes, but look, we've never found anything like a brain. I mean, they're the same as any other plant when you dissect them.
All the same. If there was some catastrophe which made us weaker, it would automatically make them stronger. Especially now we've stopped docking them to improve their quality. Oh, let's go in.
But you don't really think there's anything to worry about, do you?
I don't know. Anyhow, there's no use worrying. While there's money in Triffids, there'll be Triffids. Oh, we'll tap that lot tomorrow. Put my mask and gloves on the peg, will you?
Oh, right you are.
I've often wondered what happened to him. He'd have been useful to us now. It was a year afterwards that he saved my eyesight and my life. We were examining some specimens when one of them smacked out at me with its sting, and a few drops of poison came through the meshes of the mask, went into my eyes. He got me back to the laboratory at once, gave me the antidote, but I had to go into hospital for a week or 2. They sent me to St. Merrin's, right in the middle of London. Well, I'd been there 10 days with my eyes covered with bandages when it happened. All day long, reports had been coming in over the radio telling of a fantastic display of green lights and flashes in the upper atmosphere. By evening, everyone who could get to a window or climb on a roof was apparently gazing up in expectation of a free firework display. I began to feel that a gigantic party was being given, to which only I'd not been invited.
Do shut the window, nurse.
Oh, but it's marvellous, Mr. Mason. Really it is. They say it's a comet, you know. Green and white flashes all over the sky.
And bright red buses clashing their gears all down the street, I know. Surely you can see just as well with it shut.
Aren't we just in a bad mood tonight? Of course, it is a shame, really. You having your eyes still bandaged?
Yeah.
Still, it's not for long now.
What time tomorrow will they take them off, eh?
Well, Sister said 11:30, but Mr. Palmer may be a bit late. Ooh!
Now what?
That was a bright one. Lit up the whole room. You can see everyone standing on the rooftops watching. Oh, there's another. Oh, it's quite dazzling. Oh, what a pity you couldn't see it.
Yes, isn't it? Now, do go away. There's a good girl.
Have you everything you want?
Yes, I think so. Oh, is the radio where it should be? Yes.
Then I'll leave you for now. I'll look in later and see you settle down. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, and there's another tremendous flash right across the whole sky. But I expect you can hear the crowd. They're rather like children at a firework display. From where I'm standing, on the top of Primrose Hill, I can see hundreds of faces all turned upwards to watch this astonishing spectacle, which began over the Pacific 12 hours ago, and by now must have been seen by 90% of the world's population. It is believed that the Earth is passing through a belt of meteoric debris caused by the passing of a comet, and I really do urge anyone who possibly can to watch it. Some of the brighter flashes really make you blink. Oh, there's a splendid one right across the sky.
Oh, shut up. Let me get some sleep.
Must be 7, 5, 6, 7. 8. 8? What a damn disorganised hospital. Where's the bell?
Oh, come and annihilate me. Where the hell are they? Nurse? Sister? They're leaving me like this, supposing there was a fire. What? Supposing there is a fire. Well, that's it. They've left me. Help! 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 Hello? Who's that? Someone there?
Whose room is this?
Aren't you the house surgeon?
Yes, Mr. Mason.
Oh, can't you see?
No.
What?
I'm blind. I woke up blind. I've been trying to find someone to help me.
Oh. Well, I'm afraid I'm in the same state. Unless you care to help me off with these bandages.
Where are you?
Here. This way. That's the bottom of the bed. Now, work your way up. Oh, take my hand. We must look a comic couple.
I'm not laughing.
No. I won't be if the treatment hasn't worked. There's a pin at the back that I can't quite manage.
That?
Yes, that's it. Thanks. God, it's like unwinding a maypole.
You'd better do it yourself. Are the curtains drawn?
Well, I suppose so. Nobody's come in to undraw them. The whole staff must have a hangover after last night's party. Oh, I can see. I can see!
Clearly?
Perfectly. Oh, the curtains are green. I always thought they were blue. I don't know why. Oh, it's lucky my clothes are here. Just a moment. Oh, you don't know what it's like being able to see again.
I can imagine.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sorry. Just a minute. There. Now, how can I help you?
Take me along the passage to Lister Ward. There's a telephone in the sister's room.
Yes, of course. Come on. Now, this way. I'll take your arm, all right?
Yes.
The place sounds like a madhouse.
There must be someone on duty somewhere.
Is the ward at the end of the passage?
Can't you see the swing doors?
Oh, yes.
The sister's room's on the right before you get to them.
All right. This looks like the room.
Is there a telephone?
Yes, on the table. Here you are.
Dead. Thought it would be.
But what's happened? What is it?
Everyone in the place is blind. Finished.
Well, there must be something we can do.
Yes. This is the 5th floor, isn't it?
Why, yes.
Where's the window?
You're facing it.
Thank you.
What? No, for God's sake, don't! Oh, no.
Where's anyone? Someone! Nurse! Doctor! Someone!
All right, I'm coming.
Oh, thank God! I'm blind! Help me, I'm blind! Where are you? Where are you?
Look out, the stairs! Who's that? Don't move if you're on the stairs and can't see.
Knock me over. I couldn't see him coming. Is that Mr. Mason?
Yes, I took the bandages off. I can see. Are you hurt?
Bruised a bit, that's all. I was washing the diabetic in number 7 and suddenly I couldn't see. And he couldn't either. And then I went to help and there was no
Yes, all right, don't worry. Come on, let's get out of this place. Which is the best way?
Straight down these stairs and through the main hall.
Right, come on.
What about the man who fell?
Well, he's dead. Hold on. Now, step. There's a landing. Turn right. That's it. Wait. What's that?
The children's ward. Oh, we must go to them.
There's nothing we can do at the moment. Come on, step. That's it. Step, turn right. Step. Well, stop now. Here's the main door. Forward.
No. I'd rather stay here. I don't want to go out.
This place is a nightmare.
What place isn't like this? Besides, I know my way around here. Blindfold.
There'll be no food, nothing.
I feel safer here. Besides, there are the children.
Look, what can you do for them?
Make them a little less frightened. I am a nurse, after all.
You want me to stay?
No. You must go out and do what you can. Goodbye.
The door of the hospital swung to behind me, and I stepped into the empty street. There seemed no reason to go in any particular direction, but after a moment's pause I set off towards the West End. A fruit lorry had run across the pavement, spilling its load of oranges in the gutter. I needed a drink, and crossed the road to a pub called the Alamein Arms. The door was open, and a lugubrious song came from the interior.
Alcohol.
Hi.
Who's that?
You open?
Of course I'm open.
Oh. I need a drink.
Who are you anyway?
From the hospital.
Oh. Can you see?
Yes.
Oh. Is this whiskey I've got here?
No, peppermint. This one's whiskey.
Thanks. Help yourself.
I'll have brandy.
Anything you like, anything you want.
You'll get drunk if you take it like that.
I am drunk. And I've got to get drunker. I'm blind. Blind. As a bat, everyone's blind as a bat. Except you. Did you see green shooting stars?
No, I didn't.
Oh, there you are then. You didn't see them, you aren't blind. Everyone else saw them, and they're all blind as bats.
Are you sure it's everyone?
Listen. Can't hear yourself talk here most days.
Are you the landlord?
What if I am?
I want to pay.
Oh, forget it. Money's no use to a dead man, and that's what I am after a few more drinks.
You look all right to me.
What's the good of living blind as a bat? That's what my wife said, and she was right. Only she's more guts than I have. When she found out the kids were blind, she took them into her bed and turned on the gas. And I hadn't the guts to stick with them. But I will have soon. I'm going back up there soon when I'm drunk enough.
No, don't.
Why not? Give me one reason. Why not? You can't.
It's wrong.
No, nothing's wrong. Nothing's left to be wrong. And if you can't see that, you're blinder than me, even if you haven't got two eyes. I'm going up to join them. I'm drunk enough. Drunk enough to do it. Drunk enough. I'm going to join them.
I didn't stop him or try to follow him. I just watched him go. Then I knocked back the last of my brandy and went out into the silent street.
That was the first episode of Giles Cooper's dramatization of The Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. Listen to the next episode of John Powell's production of The Day of the Triffids, A Light in the Night. From London, we present The Day of the Triffids, John Wyndham's famous science fiction story, dramatized by Giles Cooper.
And there's another tremendous flash. I expect you can hear the crowd. It's believed that the Earth is passing through the debris of a comet. And there's another, so brilliant it almost hurts. I do urge anyone who possibly can to go out and watch.
The Day of the Triffids, Episode 2, A Light in the Night.
It took me quite a time to realize that London was a city of the blind, the capital of a blind country in a blind world. But by the time I'd walked from the pub near the hospital to Piccadilly, I knew that it was so. In no direction was there any traffic nor any sound of it. The only signs of life were a few people here and there cautiously groping their ways along the shop fronts.
Someone's there. I can hear you. All right, don't answer. Just stay where you are and don't bump into me. I've had enough of that this morning.
I'm sorry. You're blind.
Of course I'm blind. You think I carry this white stick for fun?
Then you don't know what's happened.
I know everyone's damn clumsy this morning. And no hall porter on duty.
Yes, well, they're all blind too.
What? They're blind?
Yes, since they watched the comet last night. It was pure chance that I didn't.
Ho, ho, ho! Now they'll know what it's been like for me. Now they'll need their damn patronage for themselves. You might see me across the road.
Yes, of course.
One gets lost away from the crowd.
Come on. That's it.
What's that?
Well, it sounds as though some of them have broken into a pub round the corner. Here's the curb.
Thank you very much. That's it. Good luck to you. Good day.
My girl, let you win. And don't you forget it. Where I go, you go.
Please stop it. Let her go.
You get away from me.
Out.
All right, come on, get up.
I am tied to him.
Just a minute. Right, I've cut the cord. Up you get. There, that's better. Now, let's get away from the crowd. There's an empty pub over there.
You can see.
I certainly can.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
It's all right.
I thought I was the only one.
Come on,
But
come on.
You can see.
Feeling better?
Yes. Yes, thank you. I must look an awful sight. Where's a mirror? Oh, good Lord, yes, I do.
Have another drink. Eh?
I'm sorry. I haven't told you anything about myself. Thanks. I'm Drusilla Clayton.
My name's Bill Mason. Drusilla Clayton? Haven't I heard of you?
Oh, I shouldn't think so. How did you escape seeing the comet?
I was in hospital with my eyes bandaged. About you?
Oh, well, I went to a party on... what's today? Wednesday?
Right.
On Monday, yes. I don't know what was in the drinks, but I felt like death yesterday. Well, about 4 o'clock, I gave up. I took a couple of sleeping pills and went to bed. If the sky had fallen in, I wouldn't have noticed. But when I did wake up, my father was standing beside my bed. He'd gone blind.
Where do you live?
Dean Road, St. John's Wood. Well, the telephone wouldn't work, so I started to drive down this way to fetch our doctor, and I ran out of petrol right in the middle of Regent Street. Then that man found out I could see. He knocked me down and tied my hands. He made me lead him about.
From bar to bar, I imagine.
Yes. Do you know, I should have been able to get away from him, but he was too clever. Desperate, I suppose. But, well, I was sorry for him in a way.
Oh, yes, one's sorry for them all. But they'll kill us if they can. We're rich and they're poor. Why did he start beating you?
Because I wouldn't go into his house with him. But, well, thank heavens you came along.
Yeah. Well, what do we do now?
I must get back to my father. There's no point in trying to find the doctor, even if he's been one of the lucky ones.
So, do you mind if I come too?
Oh, I'd have asked you, only I thought perhaps you had someone you wanted to look for.
No, there's no one.
Then I'd be very glad. It's so awful. This...
I know. I think it'd be safer if we stayed together anyhow. Drink up.
There.
Shall we go?
Yes. Oh, where can I get petrol?
No need. There are plenty of other cars.
Oh, it's strange. Being able to take anything we want, it's like a dream.
More like a nightmare. Come on.
Turn left here. It'll lead us round into Dean Road.
What on earth is that?
The zoo. Well, we can hear the animals at night.
They must be hungry. Past feeding time.
Oh, they'll starve. Poor things being locked up like that.
It's just as well for us they are.
Are they blind, do you think?
I know. Some, perhaps. Not the cats, though. They'd have avoided the light.
Oh, look. Over there in the park. Triffids.
Yep, there's an enclosure of them by the zoo.
Well, should they be loose like that?
No. But if you don't keep an eye on them, they tend to root themselves in a cluster against the fencing. Eventually it falls down.
Horrid things.
Yes, but if it wasn't for a Triffid sting, I wouldn't be here now.
Oh, here we are, on the left there.
Good.
That's funny.
What?
The door's open. Oh! It's an owl. And he's there, too.
Your father?
Yes, lying on the floor and that thing standing over him. What can we do?
Nothing.
He's dead.
Wait, I'll look.
Oh, careful.
I saw the mark on his face.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, just
Oh,
so
no.
it's a very quick death.
Oh, no.
Look out! Coming through the bushes! Run for the car!
Oh.
Wind up the window.
Drive on. Drive on before he gets to us.
No, wait. It can't hurt us now. I want to see what it does.
Oh, it's going away.
There's another one standing in the laurels.
Oh, let's get away. Well, there's nothing we can do.
Right, come on.
Bill,
Yeah?
where can we go?
For a start, we make for a factory in Clerkenwell. There, we're in.
What is this place?
Wentworth's. They make the best Triffid guns in the world.
Oh, I didn't know there were such things.
Huh? Fine, here's the export stock all ready for packing. Now, one for you, one for me, one for spare.
Oh, they're heavy.
I used to use them a good bit in the tropics. It'll cut the stem off a Triffid at 25 yards. Now, we'll have 2 masks, those gauntlets, and a couple of cases of ammunition.
Can we get it all in the car?
Well, I saw a station wagon outside. We'll take that and go back up west. Clothes first, then somewhere to sleep before it gets dark. A flat, I should think. Or 2 flats, if you prefer.
Oh, one. I'd rather not be on my own.
Good. I feel like company, too. Come on. Let's try this block.
It looks a bit grand.
And nothing to pay.
Can we really walk into someone's flat and take it over?
Why not? People who won't do that sort of thing are going to have a pretty thin time. Come on.
Let's try the top floor.
It's a long way to carry those cases.
Well, there's bound to be a lift.
No power.
Oh, no. Well, all the same, I'd prefer to be high up, away from the street.
All right, let's make for the penthouse.
Oh, what about the Triffid guns?
Oh, they're okay. Nobody's going to steal them.
What's in here?
A paraffin cooker. We're going to need it.
Oh.
Come on, up we go.
Oh, what a climb.
Actually, it's the first time this floor's been reached on foot. Oh, 2 flats. Which do you prefer, madam?
Oh, well, the one facing south, of course.
That's madam wishes. Just a moment.
Oh, what's wrong?
It's not well furnished. Let's try the other.
No. Well, what was it?
Here we are.
Was someone in there? Was someone in there?
2 people dead. Suicide. There's a lot of it about. Come on.
No. No, we can't sleep here. Not with them across the passage and you making a joke.
Look, come back!
I
Here!
can't.
I'm not joking. Come here. Look, if we're going to keep our sanity, we've got to learn to be tough. There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing at all. You understand?
Yes. Yes, I do. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Now, come on, let's see what this place has to offer. Good Lord.
Oh, it's got everything. Plus a cocktail bar. Oh, is it a bedroom? Look, it's got a round bed.
With a mirror over it.
Well, I'm going to sleep here anyway.
I'll see if I can find something a bit more sober.
There's a mirror over the bath as well.
Is there? Anyway, we can't have baths, no hot water.
Don't sound so pleased. Are you going to change?
Only my shirt.
Lucky it's summer.
What?
Lucky it's summer. Well, cold weather wouldn't have helped.
Some ways it would.
How?
Most of the fresh food will be going bad tomorrow. This fridge is like an oven.
You in the kitchen?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Housewife's dream. I'm setting up the oil cooker.
Well, you said it would be more like a nightmare.
Can you cook?
Not very well.
There are a lot of perfumes in here I've never even heard of. Bill? Bill?
Yeah?
Oh, sorry, I thought perhaps you'd gone out. You didn't answer. What are you doing?
Preparing a simple meal.
I ought to do that.
No, I'm enjoying myself. Shall we sit at a table?
Yes. Let's do things properly.
That's how I feel.
What are we having?
Avocados, scampi, cold chicken and salad, asparagus tips, peaches, and coffee.
What? No caviar?
It's in a pot, it'll keep. Will a white burgundy suit you, madam, or would you prefer champagne?
Oh, champagne.
What are you doing, anyway?
You'll see.
What?
Well, how do I look?
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Where'd you get the dress?
I found it in there, and I tried it, and it fits.
It certainly does. The emeralds suit you.
Do they? I know it seems a funny time to dress up, but I feel that perhaps...
You know, my father told me that just before 1939, when everyone knew there was going to be a war, he used to go round London looking at everything as though it was for the last time. Now it really is.
Thank you for understanding. Thank you for everything. If you hadn't helped me, I don't know where I'd be now.
I know where I'd be if I hadn't met you. Lying drunk in some bar. What about a drink? There's some sherry.
Oh, I thought you said champagne.
Of course, of course.
Goodness, I'm hungry.
So am I. Let's eat. You're there.
Thank you. Oh, it's getting dark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, candlelight as well. That's nice.
Now, tell me about it.
Mm-hmm. Tell you about what?
Everything. Childhood memories, love affairs. Why you aren't married, or are you?
No, I'm not. Are you?
Uh-uh.
Well, I nearly was. When I was 19.
Yeah?
There was an awful row.
What, with your family?
With my father. Mother was dead. I ran away from home and went to stay with a girlfriend. Well, my father stopped my allowance, so I had to do something, and I wrote the book.
You did what?
Oh, that's what they all say. I must look very dumb. I wrote the book.
What book?
Sex is My Adventure.
Of course, Josella Playton. Did you really write that thing?
Yes, I really did. You read it?
No.
It was very mild, a bit silly. Well, just the title was shocking, but it sold.
I bet.
And the film rights. I made a lot of money. Then I went home again.
Having shown your independence.
Yes, but more to get away from the people who thought I meant the whole thing literally.
Which you did not?
Which I did not.
Still, you can hardly blame people.
No. Well, that's why I was writing another book to balance things up.
Oh? With an equally alarming title?
I was calling it Here the Forsaken.
Quotation?
Don't grieve. Here the forsaken virgin rests from love.
Oh, I see. More champagne.
Brandy, port, or a liqueur?
Brandy, please. Shall we wash up?
Oh, Lord, not likely. We're not staying, you know.
Huh?
Well, we'll have to leave tomorrow.
Oh, yes, but don't let's think about it yet. I know.
Hmm?
Let's have some music. Is that a record player?
Yes, but there's no power.
Oh, no. Pity.
There's a transistor radio in the kitchen.
Well, let's try that.
All right. I don't know what you expect to hear. It won't be late-night music, though.
Well, you never know.
There we are.
Oh, careful. Don't knock my brandy over. It's much too good to waste.
There you are. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Bill.
Hey, listen. Must be an SOS.
Well, where do you think he is?
I don't know. Some ship drifting off the coast with all the crew blind. My God, think what it must be like at sea.
And in prisons.
Or aircraft.
God. But, well, their troubles are over.
Not like ours. Which brings us back to where we started.
Okay. I'm right down out of the clouds now. What are we going to do?
Get out of London for a start, and keep away from towns as much as we can.
Well, supplies will be difficult in the country.
Yes. But you see what's going to happen here, don't you? At present, there's still water in the tanks. Soon there won't be. The whole city will begin to stink like a great sewer. There are bodies lying about already. Every day there'll be more.
No, don't.
Soon there'll be diseases beginning to spread. Cholera, typhus, Lord knows what. No, we've got to get away before that starts. Have you any ideas?
Well, somewhere out of the way, with a good water supply and as high up as we can get. So there'll be a nice, clean wind.
Yeah, that's a thought. What about the Lake District?
Too far.
Maybe. Same goes for Cornwall.
What about the South Downs? Some friends of mine have a house on the north side looking across to Pulborough.
Uh-huh.
It's fairly high, and there's a wind pump for water, and... Oh, and they make their own electricity.
That sounds promising.
How long will it be before the towns are safe again?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps a year or so. That ought to be long enough.
Well, then we're going to need a lot of supplies.
Yes, well, that's the first thing to do. Tomorrow we load up a lorry with stores. 2 lorries, if you could manage one.
Me? Oh, well, I could try. What do we put in them?
We'll make a list. We'll try to get a couple of 10-tonners. Load half of each with food.
And the other half?
Clothes first. We've got to get some... we'll need winter things.
Blankets.
A tent.
A tent?
Oh, we may need it.
Oh, frying pans.
Saucepans?
Kettles.
About 3 of everything.
Paraffin.
Plenty in the garages.
Matches.
Thousands of them. We don't want to have to rub sticks together before we meet.
Do you know, we're going to have to learn a lot.
Yeah, we've learnt a lot already.
Such as?
How to accept the fact that sooner or later we may be the only survivors.
There must be others like us somewhere.
Well, I met nobody in London. Except a child. He was too young to stay up and watch the comet, if that's what it was.
Well, what else could it have been?
Well, all the great powers have had satellites orbiting for the last few years. They aren't all for research, you know. Some of them are weapons ready to be used when needed. Supposing one of them went wrong. Collided with a meteorite, perhaps. And instead of doing what it was supposed to do and bursting low down over just one country, it burst up in its orbit. Affected the whole world.
A weapon that would make people blind?
Yeah.
But who would think of a thing like
any
that?
nation on Earth that was rich enough and frightened enough. And that means all of us.
You know, if all this is true, we brought it on ourselves.
Yep. And here we are. Let's get on with the list.
No, let's leave it till the morning. I'm very tired.
All right. We've all the time in the world, in one sense.
Bill, it was a nice dinner. Thank you. Well, good night.
Just a moment.
Hmm?
I just want to look at you.
Good night, Bill.
Good night.
anyone there? Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Help me! Help me!
Mummy, I want my
What is it? What is it?
Phil, did you hear them? All those people. Those poor people.
Oh, Drusilla. Oh, don't.
I tried to go to sleep. I tried. I was so tired. And I began to hear them. Oh, Bill, I'm frightened.
Calm down, darling. Listen, there's nothing we can do, not yet.
Oh, Bill, if you weren't here, I'd go mad.
As long as we're together, we'll survive.
But there's so many of them, and there's only two of us.
Hey, look.
No, I don't want to look out there.
You must, Drusilla. There's a light.
House is on fire. I've seen them. Don't make me look again.
No, this is different. It's a searchlight.
Oh, what?
Look, over there, to the north.
Where? Oh, yes. Yes, I see.
It must be a signal.
What does it mean?
Perhaps that someone's trying to get all the sighted people together.
Oh, quickly, let's go there now.
No, not yet. Wait till morning.
But we won't be able to see it in daylight, Bill. We must go now.
Look, do you really want to drive through those streets now?
No, but what if we miss them?
They won't go away tonight.
Oh,
Look. Wait. We'll make a mark on the window ledge. No, where's something? Yeah, a nail file, it'll do. Now, look, I'll scratch your pointer. So. Now, we'll be able to pick out the building in the morning. You can see it's a tall one from the position of the light. All right?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I panicked again.
Of course. You'd be inhuman not to. Well, now at least we know we're not alone.
We never were, Bill. Were we?
That was the second episode of Giles Cooper's dramatization of The Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. Listen to the next episode of John Powell's production of The Day of the Triffids, Conference and Confusion. From London, we present The Day of the Triffids, John Wyndham's famous science fiction story, dramatized by Giles Cooper.
Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Help me!
The Day of the Triffids, Episode 3, Conference and Confusion.
I lay awake for a long time on that first night after the disaster, listening to the nightmare confusion, shouts of the blind in the street below, and wondering if the searchlight we'd seen far away on a tall building was really a signal to get the sighted people together. When I did go to sleep, I slept heavily and late. I woke up to find the sun shining.
Josella was making coffee.
Hello, Bill. Ready for breakfast?
I'll shave first. Feel a bit scruffy.
Oh, shall I heat some water?
It's all right. I'll manage with cold. What about the light we saw?
Well, I looked before you woke up.
Yeah?
The scratch you made on the window ledge points towards the university tower.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
We'd better go straight there as soon as we've eaten.
Quite different from yesterday.
Yeah, fewer people about.
Then they were clinging to the house fronts. Now they're creeping along the gutters.
I suppose it's easier going by the curb. This is the turning we want.
Just a minute. I think there's something happening at the gates.
Quite a crowd. Shall we investigate or clear out?
Investigate.
All right, but don't let's get involved.
Well, if we go through those houses and into one of the gardens, we could get quite close to the gates without being seen.
Yeah. If there's anyone there who can see. Come on.
Just shut yourselves up in there. Who do you think you are? You needn't think I can't see you, that I'm one of these helpless wretches. I can see you all right.
What's happening?
There's a sort of agitator trying to get in.
Do you think these people haven't got the same right to live as you? They have, you know. It's not their fault they're blind, is it? It's nobody's fault. But it's going to be your fault if they starve, and you know it. I've been showing the way to get food, but there's only one of me, and there's thousands of them. You could show them, but you won't. All you're thinking of is looking after your own lousy skin.
And how long do you think the supplies will last?
How the blazes would I know? What I do know is that if all the people who still cut their eyes don't muck in and help, there aren't going to be many left alive by the time they're going to clear this mess up.
Nobody's going to come.
Oh, that's it, is it? You're scared, frightened that if you give them food, there won't be enough for you. A lovely people, aren't they? Well, if you won't come out to us, we'll come into you.
Let go.
There's his arm. Now, hold him while I get the gate open.
Let me
We'll soon
go.
have you lot sorted out.
Johnson! Edwards! Get them clear!
No! No, don't shoot!
Get down!
Get down, everyone! Get down! Take cover!
My God, they're shooting at them!
No, they're firing over their heads.
Sure.
Yes. No one's hurt.
Even to frighten them like that.
Well, they had to do something.
That man, the one who spoke, was right.
He was wrong. There's no they to come and clear up this mess. It won't be cleared up except by us. We just can't afford to spend our time pillaging food stocks for other people.
It seems so callous.
Oh, yes, I don't like it any more than you do, but we've got to make up our minds. Do we help those who've survived the catastrophe to rebuild some sort of life? Or do we make a moral gesture?
No. We must go on.
Come on, let's cross the road.
Are the men with guns still there?
Yes. Can you manage?
No. Give me a hand.
Come on. There. Can we come in?
How many of you?
Just the two. We saw your signal last night.
Okay, come on.
We saw what happened just now.
Those were the orders. Not to let them in. Well, you'd better report to the Colonel. Just inside on the right, door marked reception.
Highly organized.
And a bit frightening.
Here we are.
Ah, new arrivals. March straight in. Glad to have you with us. I'll just take a few particulars. Your name, sir?
Mason.
Initials?
W.J.
Address?
22 Adelaide Crescent, Worthing, if it makes any difference.
Well, we've got to keep the records straight. I'm hoping to get a form run off as soon as we collect someone who can run a duplicator. Age?
29.
Occupation?
Triffid grower.
Not much call for that now, I'm afraid. And you?
Playton. JV, 42 Dean Road, NW8. Age, 22. No particular occupation.
Independent.
Very.
Miss, I presume.
Yes.
Yes. Well, nasty business, this, but there's plenty to be done. Mr. Beadley.
Hello?
Two new arrivals, Mr. Mason and Miss Playton.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do?
Come across to my office.
I'll see you later.
Don't you want references in triplicate?
Thinking of the Colonel.
That's right.
Yes, he is a bit of a civil servant. Still, he's right in a way. We've got to get ourselves organized. Here we are. Now, do sit down.
Thank you.
What's the position at the moment?
Well, up to the present, there are about 35 of us. We hope some more will come in during the day.
Have they all got their sight?
28 of them. The others are relatives or children. At the moment, the general idea is that we move away from here sometime tomorrow and go down into the country.
We'll be going this afternoon.
Oh. What sort of transport have you got?
It's a station wagon. We haven't stocked it up yet.
Ah.
All we've got is a lot of anti-Triffid gear.
Well, that's a funny thing to make your first essential.
Not really.
I think you're going to be a good deal of trouble.
Well, surely there aren't enough to cause a lot of bother.
Oh, there are plenty in the nurseries.
Yes, but they're all fenced in. Still, bring the gear by all means if you think it'll come in handy. Mm-hmm. You do want to come with us, by the way.
Well, what do you think, Gisela?
Yes, we need company.
Then here's what I suggest. Bring in your car, dump your stuff, and then drive off and swap it for a good-sized lorry. Mm-hmm. Now, do either of you know anything about doctoring?
Not a thing.
Oh, no, me.
Oh, well, otherwise I'd have sent you off on a medical scrounge. You'd better go after the stuff on this list.
Yeah. Pots, pans, blankets, and food.
Yes, and concentrate on bulk. Cans and packets are your best line.
Yes.
Do as much as you can before dark. There'll be a general meeting and discussion here about 9:30 this evening.
Right.
Have you got a gun?
No.
Well, you'd better have, just in case. And you, Miss Clayton. Here.
Oh, I feel like a gangster.
Oh, better than what you'll become if some of the citizens in this town get hold of you. See you this evening, then. Okay. Good scrounging. Okay, over here. Bill Mason, isn't it?
Yes.
Which list were you working from?
Pots, pans, blankets, and food.
Oh, here's Gisela.
Whoa! Leave her there.
Right.
Well, how have you made out, Bill?
We got all the stuff on the list.
And a bit more besides.
Ah, splendid.
I made a plan of where it's all packed in case you want anything special.
Well, I wish they'd all do that. Is this Triffid gear you put here?
Yes.
It wasn't on the list.
No, but I thought it might come in useful.
Ah, yes, of course, but, well, haven't you got enough already?
It doesn't take up much room.
Well, still... Oh, well, leave it for the moment. Well, I dare say you could do with a cup of tea.
Certainly could.
There's a canteen operating in the hall.
Oh, thanks.
All right, next one in. Come along.
I never want to see another sack of flour as long as I live.
Yeah, we got completely lost.
There are far more people than there were this morning.
Excuse me.
Hmm?
Mr. Mason and Miss
Yes?
Clayton. Quite still, please. I want a picture of you.
What?
Oh, don't tell me. You're the press.
More or less. I'm the official record. Elspeth Carey is the name, formerly of the Post.
It sounds like the Colonel's idea.
It is. Are you really Gisela Clayton?
Yes, and I wrote the book, and none of it's true.
Somebody said you were worried about Triffids, Mr. Mason.
Yes, I am. I think they're troublesome enough to be taken seriously when they get out of hand.
Yes, but surely that couldn't happen in England.
Oh, all sorts of things can happen in England now.
Oh, there's Ivan. He may be able to tell us something. He's been cruising around in a helicopter all afternoon. Ivan! Ivan!
Oh, hello.
Bill Mason.
How'd you do?
Gisela Clayton. This is Ivan Simpson.
Hello.
Intrepid birdman. Did you see any Triffids wandering around outside London?
Triffids? No, I don't think so. Well, not that you'd notice them much from the air, and besides I was too busy following roads to take in much else.
What are they like?
Oh, not too bad. Most of the drivers seem to have had time to pull up. Of course, it wasn't a busy time of day. I went as far as Reading, and they seemed pretty clear.
Did you see many people?
No, hardly a soul. They stay at home.
Will you write me up a description of the trip?
Well, if you like, yes. What's that?
Everybody in the lecture theatre, please, for a conference.
Well,
Everybody, please.
What name's that?
I wonder what this is all about. Pretty organised.
Ladies and gentlemen, and it's probably the last time that I shall use that phrase, the committee has appointed me as its chairman, and I'm now going to introduce them to you. But first of all, I want to say this. The world we knew has ended in a flash. Some of us may be feeling that it's the end of everything. It's not, unless we allow it to be. We can begin to build again. We must start now.
You've got the right idea.
Colonel Jakes is now going to give you some administrative details. Colonel?
Quiet, please. Quiet. Now, as you know, it is our intention, for reasons of health, to get away from built-up areas as soon as possible. We hope to move off at 1200 hours tomorrow. We have now accumulated stocks which we hope will allow us to live in isolation for about a year. It may prove possible to supplement them from nearby towns in a few months, but that depends entirely on the decision of our medical staff. All right? Any questions?
Yes, I have a question. Where are we going?
All members will be informed of our destination later.
He nearly said all ranks.
Thank you, Colonel. Well, now, as you know, one of our main worries today has been that we've not come across anyone with medical knowledge. And it's with great relief, therefore, that I welcome Miss Burr, who is not actually a doctor, but who does hold high nursing qualifications. Miss Burr, I'd be grateful if you'd say a few words, would you?
Yes, please. I can only say that I'll do everything I possibly can. We must expect a certain amount of infection to be about in the next few days, and you can help us to avoid it by reporting at once if you feel ill, by eating nothing that has been exposed to the air, and drinking nothing unless it's been boiled or comes out of a bottle.
Quiet, please, quiet.
After the meeting, will everyone please line up to be inoculated against typhoid, paratyphoid, and cholera?
Thank you, Miss Burr. That's right. Thank you very much. Now, our last speaker is going to talk on a slightly different subject. Here is Dr. Wallace, who is Professor of Sociology at the university.
My friends, the world we knew is gone. Finished. Our needs are now different. Therefore, our standards must be different. For instance, you have all spent the day indulging with clear consciences in what 2 days ago would have been housebreaking and theft. You have already lost one prejudice, and I suggest to you that you must lose others. Now, it will not be easy, but unless we can form our own rules of conduct, we shall cease to exist. Therefore, there is one thing to be made quite clear to you before you decide to join our community. The men must work. The women must have babies. We can afford to support a limited number of women who cannot see, because they will have babies who can see. We cannot afford to support men who cannot see. In our new world, babies become very much more important than husbands.
What are you grinning at?
People's expressions.
Yeah. Michael Beadley looks a bit anxious.
You should worry. If Brigham Young could bring it off in the middle of the 19th century, this ought to be a pushover.
I think so. There's someone who doesn't agree with you, look.
The last speaker is advocating free love.
I think the questioner must be aware that I never mention love, free, bought or bartered. Will she please make the question clear?
I am asking if you suggest the abolition of the marriage law.
The laws we knew have been abolished by circumstances.
There is still the law of decency.
A Mohammedan preserves rigid respectability with 3 wives. And so did Solomon with 300. Oh, these are matters of local custom. For our own survival, we must develop our own customs in these matters. And those who come with us must adhere to them.
And if we refuse?
Those who do not wish to are perfectly free to start other communities on such lines as they think fit.
You're not grinning now.
Well, there's a lot to take in.
Come on, Joe. Let's get these jabs. And then find somewhere quiet. I want to talk to you.
All right. Oh, it's nice to be alone again.
Someone's found an old gramophone. Listen. Shall we sit this one out?
It's a lovely night.
Is your arm still sore?
No. Oh, she's quite good, that girl.
By the time she got to me, the needle was blunt.
When we girls were so busy arguing, we wouldn't have noticed that.
I wonder how many will decide to go.
Nearly all of them, when they've thought about it.
You think so?
Most women want babies.
Do they?
Well, provided they've got some form of security.
Hmm.
Might have been all right for Solomon, but it's having to share a husband that worries them. After all, there are limits.
Are there?
Oh, Bill, don't tell me you're going to cling to the old order.
No. But it's difficult.
What is?
I love you. I was going to ask you to marry me. But there's not much point in it now.
Oh, Bill.
Is there?
I don't know, but I'll accept you all the same.
What?
Did you really think I wouldn't?
I didn't know.
Of course, it isn't quite as straightforward as it seems.
How do you mean?
Well, if I were the committee, I'd make a rule that every man who marries a sighted girl must take 2 blind girls as well.
What?
Oh, that's about how the numbers work out.
You don't mean that.
I do. Oh, and so do they. Didn't you think it was implied in that speech?
But it may have been, but I don't see that they can hold anyone to that. I mean, it's completely unnatural.
No, it isn't. Listen, Bill, this isn't easy for me either, but we owe a sort of debt for being alive and able to see. Well, one of the ways of paying it is to help these girls to have as full a life as they can.
Well, that's a weird way of looking at it.
But it's right. I know it is.
Okay, if that's the way you think it ought to be.
Now, don't worry. I shall pick 2 nice, sensible girls for you.
Really?
Yes, I will.
Good. Shall we dance?
Yes.